for tuning in today. My name is Kelsey. I am a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I learned about AARBF and I'm involved with the organization because I have wonderful family members that work for the organization that also volunteer and are a firefighter and a bird survivor themselves. So super happy to be chatting with you guys today. I hope you are finding these videos helpful and entertaining during these times. I am going to be talking to you guys today about ways to make some easy swaps in your diet that just provide a little bit more dense nutrition, more nutrients, more vitamins and minerals, and things that are good opportunities to make changes in your diet that might help improve your health, maybe help with any illnesses you guys have, and just supporting a healthy body overall. So we'll be talking today about quick swaps that you can make in your kitchen to do all of those things, okay? First thing we're going to talk about is pasta. So this is your typical white pasta, and it's a common household option. It's easy, it's quick, it's cheap to purchase and feed a lot of people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with eating pasta. It's important for us to have grains like pasta in our diet, but there are better ways to eat than just these white pastas. And so what I want to show you is to look for things at the store that say whole grain or whole wheat on them. This is another option for pasta, and it tastes very similar. It cooks the same way, but it has more fiber and more of the nutrients in it because it's been less processed. So there's been less stripping of the nutrients that are making the pasta. It will keep you fuller longer because of that, because it has extra fiber in it, and so it actually will satisfy your hunger for longer periods of time. When you're eating pasta, nobody likes to eat pasta by itself. You can think about what you're going to put on your pasta to eat too. I know we all love like creamy, cheesy, fatty Alfredo sauce, but do yourselves, do your loved ones a favor and opt for something that is more tomato based, like a tomato marinara sauce. And when you're looking for this, really look for fewer ingredients. Tomato basil is a great option. This is a great way to get more vegetables into your diet, as opposed to this, which is a creamy, fatty food that really doesn't offer us a whole lot of nutrition. This has more fiber, again, more vitamins, more nutrients in it. So if you can, pick a red sauce to put over your pasta, your whole wheat pasta. Another easy swap that you guys can make in your kitchen is beans. So I know oftentimes we really enjoy refried beans as part of our diet. And so you can purchase these either as like in a can, traditional refried beans, or maybe you make them at home yourself. An option instead of the high fat and high lard content in traditional refried beans is to look for fat-free refried beans in a can, or to make your own from scratch just using plain dried beans that you've soaked and boiled and mashing those just with itself, as opposed to adding extra lard, extra fat options in there. You can still make it taste great, still add it to all of your recipes, your meals, but it will provide great amounts of fiber, great vitamins and minerals again, but with a lot less fat that could be damaging to our heart and lead to gaining unnecessary weight that puts extra strain on our bodies too. So that's another easy swap you can make. In addition, one thing I want to talk about really quickly is using canned vegetables. So these are often available in stores for WIC or food stamps or CalFresh for our support programs. And there's a couple different options for looking at canned vegetables. And so one way that we make vegetables and fruits and everything else that comes in a can last longer is by adding a lot of salt to it. And over time, high salt makes our heart work a lot harder, and so it can lead to heart disease and heart failure. And so one way to be mindful of the amount of salt that we're eating is to make sure that your vegetables say something like this. So no salt added, or it'll say like cut green beans in water. If you can find that, it's the best option. Canned vegetables still have plenty of benefits. They are just as good of an option as fresh vegetables. But if you can find them with less salt in them, that's a great way to purchase and to eat your vegetables. If you cannot find canned vegetables that don't come in salt, so if you have to purchase canned vegetables in salt, what you can do is you can rinse them. After you open them from the can, you can run some water over them to help remove any extra salt that might be in there, and that's a good way to do that as well. That'll help rid some of the salt so that you're not eating quite as much. Another option, I know we love our oatmeal for breakfast. Instant oatmeal, though, comes with a lot of sugar. Similarly to salt, sugar is often used to help make things last longer, especially things that are shelf-stable, so that don't need to be refrigerated. Instant oatmeal, while it's quick and easy, generally has very, very high sugar content in it. And so what I would encourage you to look for, and it doesn't need to be organic, but something like this that's just rolled old-fashioned or just rolled oats. This is super easy to make, actually, and it honestly doesn't take a whole lot longer than your instant oatmeal. Usually this takes anywhere from maybe 1.5 to 3 minutes. I usually put this in for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. And there's many servings in this. You might get 8 servings in a box of the instant oatmeal. This will last you like 20 servings. And so it's often more cost effective, and it's a great way to purchase, and you can always add your own flavorings to it. So you can add cinnamon, you can add cut up apples. I put almonds in mine sometimes, all sorts of things. You can add some honey or some brown sugar if you want it a little bit sweeter. But in this case, you have control over the amount of sugar that you're eating in your breakfast instead of this where it's predetermined for you. Somebody else has picked how much sugar is in this. You get to pick how much sugar goes in this, and that's a really, really powerful thing. Okay, next up is kind of similar. So yogurt's another really good option for breakfast. It has lots of protein, can help keep you full for a long time. But again, when picking a yogurt, try to stay away from ones that come pre-sweetened, because this, again, somebody else has chosen how much sugar is in this, and it's often more than is needed. Whereas if you purchase the plain yogurt, you can choose to put berries and maybe some honey or a little bit of sugar on top of it. You can sweeten it with things of your own choice as opposed to this that's already been determined. So when you have an option, pick an unsweetened yogurt over a sweetened yogurt. And honestly, if you're sitting here thinking like, well, my kids won't eat that, all I can say is you have to offer it to them. If you don't offer these things to your kids, they're never going to accept them. They have to have the choice to at least try it. And we have control over what our kids are eating these days. We have say in what goes into our kids' bodies. And so to a certain degree, I realize that we all have constraints, but to a certain degree, we get to choose what's best for our children. So if the option is they get yogurt with fresh fruit or no yogurt, they can choose to not have the yogurt, but they might try and they might surprise you. So give it a shot and see what you think. Kind of in the same realm is snack foods that come with lots of sugar. So dried fruit is great. It's much better than eating potato chips for a snack. But if at all possible, I always want to encourage you guys to try and eat the whole fruit. So this is a mango. This is dried mango. This is going to keep you fuller longer because of the water that's in it. It helps trigger and tell your tummy that you are full. It's really easy to eat an entire bag of dried mango. It's a lot harder to eat a whole mango to yourself. Though if you add some tahini, I could do it. But keep in mind that when possible, if you can eat a real whole fruit, that's always preferred. It has more of those nutrients with less sugar, and so that's a better option for you every time. However, I know we all love snack foods. Even me as a dietitian, nutritionist, I love to snack. So let me show you some options I like for things that kind of satisfy that crunch and that salt without having a bag of Lay's potato chips next to me all the time. So we all love our Flaming Hot Cheetos, I know. But these really don't offer you anything nutritionally beneficial. They're not particularly good for us, and they really don't do much for us. So what I would recommend you guys try is getting does not have to be organic, but a container of popping corn from the store. And all you do to make this is add like a 1/4 cup of the kernels to your stove, add a little bit of oil, and then you heat it and shake the pan until they're popped, just like you would when you hear it in the microwave. But with this, that container of popcorn is going to last you a lot longer than a bag or two of potato chips might. And so it's economical in the sense that it's going to be cheaper for you in the long run. You're going to get more food from it. And it's actually a whole grain. So that whole kernel means that it still has all the fiber and all the vitamins, all the nutrients inside of it. So it's better for you. Not only is it going to help clean out your gut, it's going to help kind of clean out your intestines, but that fiber makes you full, and so it lasts a lot longer in you. You can get full off of popcorn a lot faster than you can get full off of potato chips, and you can customize it. So if you need a little bit of salt and butter on it, you can do that. If you want to add some hot sauce to make it hot, you can add hot sauce to your popcorn. You can add some cheese to it. You could sometimes for dessert, I'll add some M&Ms in there, and like the M&Ms get all gooey with the warm popcorn. So it's really fun that you can customize it. It goes really, really far. And again, you get much better benefits from it nutritionally than you would from a bag of potato chips or Flaming Hot Cheetos. So definitely recommend the popcorn over the bag of chips. And it'll still kind of give you that crunch, and you can add some salt to it if you need the salt. And then finally, I just really quickly want to talk about soda. So bottle of Coca-Cola has 150 calories in it, and I'm not so concerned about the calories as I am the amount of sugar in this. Coca-Cola, honestly, to about here is just straight sugar. It's just sugar dissolved in this. And so there's a lot of options that are better for us, that aren't going to make our cells and our body work so hard. They're not going to lead to us gaining unhealthy weight, and especially when we're drinking that sugar, it's not making us full. And so it's easy to drink a lot of it, and it's adding a lot of unnecessary strain on our bodies. And so there's some better options out there, and I want to talk about those really quickly. This is one company. It does not have to be this kind, but I like to drink Spindrift's over soda because this is basically just carbonated water with some fruit juice in it. So like real fruits. This one has lime and raspberry in it. And so, for example, this has 9 calories in a can as opposed to 150 in that bottle of soda. So much fewer calories, and again, like natural sugars in it as opposed to added sugars. And so that little bit of sweet that comes from the fruit itself is much, much more beneficial, and even actually has some nutrients in it too that the soda really doesn't. Another option, if these are too expensive or hard to find or just not an option for you, is to purchase just plain seltzer water at the store and to add your own fruit to it. So you can add watermelon, you can add lemon, lime, mint, cucumber, pineapple, raspberry, blueberry, strawberries, like any fruit that you have on hand, you can add to the seltzer water. You can even like mash it up a little bit in there so it kind of releases more of the juices. But that is going to make the water more interesting to drink, and it's still going to give you that bubbly, fizzy drink experience that soda does, but without all the added sugar that makes it not so great for our bodies. And then the last thing I really wanted to talk to you guys about is swapping out something for a popsicle. So I know right now it's hot outside. It's getting to that time of year where we want something to cool us down, and so popsicles are honestly very similar to soda in the sense that they are just pretty much frozen sugar water. That's all a popsicle is. And so instead of a popsicle, try freezing a bowl of grapes. So instead of this lovely drippy popsicle, try putting some just a whole thing of grapes in the freezer. They'll freeze just like this, and because they freeze, they give you that stain like icy experience that a popsicle gives you, and the grapes have great amounts of natural sugar in them, but in addition you're getting all those vitamins that the grapes have, and so super cooling, really, really enjoyable on a hot summer's day, but without all the extra sugar that doesn't do much for our bodies. So I hope you guys learned something today and found some of this helpful. I hope you'll try some of these swaps out. You guys take care. Bye.